Good day everyone, and welcome to this instruction video about finalizing my pipeline, several numbers calculation maker pipeline, with the start bash script. First, I also copy the start bash script from my scheduling scripts. That's this one. I copy it, and I copy it to my pipeline, several numbers of calculation maker pipeline, and immediately rename it to my own pipeline. So, the start bash script has always the name of the pipeline itself, beginning with start. So start several numbers calculation maker pipeline.sh. Okay, now I'll open it with Genie and I'll start programming my start bash script for my pipeline. First of all, I shall erase the additional information because I don't want to give extra information. To show user information, I shall write that at the very last moment. But first, I look at the code for showing the text files. I know when the pipeline several numbers calculation maker pipeline is started, that it's not necessary that input files should be asked. So it's not necessary that text files or input files have to be shown on the screen. So I can erase this code too. Now I come to the questions. Here I will have to program the questions for the user that generates for generation of the right command arguments of the highway bash script, and my pipeline is that several numbers calculation maker pipeline.sh. I will program the questions here, and you can take a break. Hi, you're back again from the break. I programmed the questions here. Here are the questions. Echo -n. -n means that when the question is asked to the user, the cursor of the keyboard will point right behind the sentence. If you don't do that, the cursor will go to the next line. So that's why I put -n behind echo. So the first question is, what is the first number of the sum? Second question, what is the second number of the sum for the sum? The third question is, what is the third number for the days? And the fourth question is, what is the fourth number for the exponent? These are the variables that will save the input data and input answers of the user in first number, second number, third number, fourth number. And now we've come to the file presence check. Here we have to write down all the scripts we have in our pipeline, that in our several numbers maker pipeline. Now I shall do that now. It's not very much, so it must be in alphanumerical order. So I begin with calculate sum of numbers.py. Next one is determine power answer from numbers.r, and the last one is the highway bash script. This several numbers calculation maker pipeline.sh. We don't have input files that have to be checked from the questions, so we finish the file process check. I can delete this command here, and now from now on, these files will be checked in this loop. And when a file or script is not present, it will be shown on the screen, and the variable one pipeline item missing is set on true. As a consequence, when the program is here at this if statement, it will skip the pipeline. The pipeline will be aborted. But if everything is present, all the scripts and the input files, the pipeline will be started and will be here. There's only one row, so we have to put here the highway bash script. The several numbers calculation maker pipeline.sh. And as I told you before in other instruction movie, you always have to generate the command line arguments for the highway bash script according to the answers of the user he has typed in. But what we don't have to we don't have to do anything right now, because the answers of the user can immediately be given to the as command line arguments through the highway bash script. Nothing has to be generated. So we can type in all the command line arguments. First number. I go to the next line. Second number. Third number. And fourth number. Okay. The start bash script has been programmed. What we now have to do is write down the show use information. But before I do that, I will test the script itself first. I go to the terminal. I go to the directory of my pipeline. I will test it now. Start bash. Start several numbers calculation maker pipeline. There you go. What's first number of sum? 3. Second number of sum? 4, 5. Third number? 2. Fourth number of the exponent? 3. Several numbers calculation maker starts now. Yeah, the total sum of numbers is 8. The result is nothing. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Just give another try. 1, 2, 2, 2 is an H. Oh, something is happening here. I don't know what happens there, but I think the fourth number, maybe I made a mistake somewhere. Here. As you can see, I typed the wrong letter here. It didn't recognize the fourth number variable. Now we test again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there it is. The pipeline works. And what I can do now, is writing show use information. Writing show use information for the pipeline is as follows. Here I have to write down what my pipeline will do. Here how to use it and how to start it. And here how I can start with the start bash script. This text of the start bash script has to be the same as the text in the show use information of the highway bash script. The only difference between the show use information of the highway bash script and the start bash script are the way of usage and the examples. Because in the way of usage in the start bash script, you have to type how you can use the start bash script, of course, to start the pipeline. And here you have to type the example of starting the pipeline with the start bash script. And here you have to type the way of usage, how you can use this highway bash script. And here you have to type the example of how to start the highway bash script. I will take a break now again. Not me, but you can take a break again. And after that I will have finished the show use informations. Hello, welcome back. You just took a break, and what I did in the meantime, as I told you before, I wrote down the show use informations for the start bash script and the highway bash script. Here they are. This is show use information of the start bash script. That's of the start bash script and the highway bash script. These are the same. Several numbers calculation maker pipeline makes several calculations with 4 numbers. The first 2 numbers will be used to calculate the sum, and last 2 numbers will be used to calculate the result of the base to power of the exponent. Way of usage. Here are differences between the start bash script and the Highway bash script. Initial use information in the way of usage, I wrote the following in the start bash script. When the several numbers calculation maker pipeline is started, or when you start the several numbers maker pipeline with the several numbers maker calculation maker pipeline with the start bash script, the first two numbers will be asked for the sum and the last two numbers will be asked for the calculation for powering. Example, bash start and then the name of the pipeline. Here I wrote down in the way of usage, when you start several numbers calculation maker pipeline, so the Highway script, you have to type the first two numbers for the sum in the command line arguments, and you have to type the last two numbers for the powering. Example, bash several numbers calculation pipeline sh 1 2 3 4. Okay, I finished everything, and first of all I have to test the show use information. Now let's give it a try. First I test the show use information on the start bash script. Start several numbers calculation maker pipeline -h, and here it is. And now I will test the show use information of the Highway bash script pipeline, several numbers calculation maker pipeline -h, and it also gives the right show use information. But I saw something when I start the show use information of the start bash script. I see that this sentence is very long, but doesn't matter for now. I think it's good. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll shrink this window. What I'm doing now, we finalized the pipeline, but not yet. Of course, we have to make a flowchart, and that's what I'm doing now. I take a break again, but before I take a break, I show you how I make that flowchart. I will use the program Dia. I start Dia, and I'll start making the flowchart now. Have a nice break. Hi, I'm back again from making my flowchart for my pipeline several numbers calculation maker pipeline. What did I do? I started Dia, and first I took a box. That's this one. I made a box. I took some text from here, and I put the text on the top of this box, because this box represents the pipeline of the Highway bash script. And the Highway bash script, so the pipeline itself was called several numbers calculation maker pipeline. And in that Highway bash script, there were two scripts that were called. The first was to calculate sum of numbers, and after that determine power answer from numbers. And these are operations. This one, processes. This is my very simple flowchart for my pipeline. I save it as a Dia file and as a picture, as PNG. And here they are: flowchart underscore the name of the pipeline .dia and flowchart underscore the name of the pipeline .png. We've almost finished this pipeline. The last thing we have to do, we take all the files, we compress them to a zip file, create, close, and as you can see, the zip file will have the same name as the pipeline itself: several numbers calculation maker pipeline.zip. This is the end of my video, and this is also the end of making a very simple pipeline and finalizing it. Thank you very much for your attention.